Okay, can you hear me now? Actually, hey Donnie, hey Mark. Actually, my mic was not off. It was not part of the scene I built yet for the new camera I've got. I'm testing out a generic camera, and I said earlier, sorry about the scan lines that are coming down. It's an old, or it's not an old mic. It's a cheap mic, so or it's a cheap camera, so it's going to have the scan lines. So as you know, as a result of the LEDs. So what I was saying is, over the last week, several things have happened. The 1966 Batmobile was suddenly released by Eagle Moss. They put out the pre-order about 2 years ago, and I never expected it to show up, and then suddenly it did. They've released the Enterprise D, which that is shipping at this point. Several people have received it. I have not yet. I was supposed to get billed for it today. I will wait and see what happens tomorrow in the next 24 hours. Cannot wait to get that. And I know that Mark Shue also signed up for it, and a couple other people were really looking hard at that thing. In addition, they released a 1/250th Titanic. I think they're trying to catch the wave of the 1/200th Tamiya Titanic. And I called them and I verified that is a pre-order. It's just that they're looking to see how many people they can get into the Titanic. It's one of them things that some companies do. They'll put it out. They'll say that they're going to release this starting, making it look like it's coming out right away. And actually what they're doing is they're looking for how many people are interested and will it be a worthwhile build for them. I know you do, Donnie. I wanted it 2 years ago when it first put it out. I was upset that I didn't even get the pre-order parts. Usually they only release those in the UK. So I've got the Enterprise going on, got the Titanic, which is not going on, but is, the Batmobile. All of those are going to end up on my channel as they start coming in. Over the weekend, Donnie hosted the live stream with, was me, Donnie, and Spence on, what's your channel name there, Donnie? Hey, Eric. Well, you say they got one person, Mark, but the thing is, the more of us that put in for the Titanic, the more likely they're going to put it out. If they don't get enough interest, they'll never go beyond the prototype they have already. But Donnie Dougherty, like I said, posted the live stream over the weekend yesterday, and on there I finally figured out those stupid hammocks for the Black Pearl. And so the Black Pearl, when she gets on the bench tomorrow, I won't spend a lot of time on hammocks because I've already got them done. Okay, it is just Johnny Dougherty. And if you don't know how to spell it, it's in the chat. So, let's get to what we're really here for. And any of you that watched last week, you know that I ended the stream because I hit a problem that first I hit 2 hours. And I hit a problem I could not fix because this cable is way too short for where it's supposed to be. And I'm like, where am I going wrong? Because all the cables were labeled, I did them as they were labeled on these little flags. You can see there, that one shows an F. Well, it turns out, and let me switch cameras. It turns out the problem was partly me, but more Eagle Moss, because if you look here, they identified the cables, and the cables are not identified the same on their flags as they are in the book. 38E, which is the one that I put, I figured that 38E would have flag E on it. So I put the one with flag E where 38E was supposed to go. Well, 38E main light switch is gray, so it's actually F. I have in front of me the actual callouts for the wires, because what I did was I went on somebody else's YouTube channel, and I just was watching something where he said that somebody said that told him he's got the wrong wires in there. Don't care. His wiring makes more sense. So instead of it being, I don't even remember the exact order, but let me see. It was said E, H, C, D, B, and then F was the last one. Well, instead of it being that, it should be F, D, C is the only correct one, and then E, B. Also saw on his channel a really easy way to get these things to actually actually fit the way they're supposed to. So Donnie, if you're trying to wrangle a way to afford it, what you need to do, and just let me know if you need to get their phone number. Call Eagle Moss and find out how they're going to release it, because right now these are being released as 4 issues per book, or for one book, 4 issues. Don't know what they're going to do with the Enterprise. If they do it the same way, I'm sure what you can do is if you call them up, they will do, I know that they'll do up to 8 issues or 8 sets of parts each month, or each week actually. So 2 magazines a week with 8 sets of parts. I'm sure they're going to do the same thing in the on the Enterprise and all their builds. If you call them up, you can actually have them ship every other month. You know, if that's all you can afford, is have them ship 1 magazine with 4 parts every other month. They are good about that. Other than that, you guys know my opinion. There's a lot of problems with Eagle Moss, and I am not the only one that has these issues with them. So, let's start fixing this thing. Let's get the screwdriver out. And I have to give World of Wayne huge kudos, even if he never looks at my channel, because he did something that I was like, that is flippin' brilliant, the way to do these tabs to hold these parts in. Because you remember, I don't know if you guys remember how much well, here's the problem. I've got I want to say these are fluorescences. I think these are fluorescents, these are LEDs. So I have 2 different kinds of lights. And see, that's the thing, Donnie, is if if you do 2 packs a month, what it will probably end up being, if it's a 4 packs in a book, they'll just charge you every other month. You're watching World of Wayne, he did that. I mean, when I saw what he did, or what it looks like, I'm like, I really, really want that Enterprise D. I knew I was going to get it already, but it's like, oh, it is awesome. So now back to this. Flag F is 38E, and what he did, and it was brilliant. When I saw it, I was like, that is one of the most brilliant things I've seen him do. Let me see, I'm getting banding here, so hang on. Echo, turn off patio lights. See if that makes any difference, because I've got 3 lights to my right. They're all up above me, and it doesn't look like it is. They're all up above me, but, you know, and voice controlled. What I really need to do is just get some better lights. and it doesn't look like it, that it's fixing it. So, Echo, turn on patio lights. So what Wayne did, and let me get all the parts back out here that we're supposed to have for pack 37, or no, 41. So what he did, where'd I put, there's my patch, my tape, is he put some glue down. He did it what I think was a really dangerous way. He actually blobbed it straight on here. But since these buttons, these switches are going in and will never come back, you're never going to be taking them back out. He just took, where's my pin vise? There it is. He dabbed a little bit of glue on the tab. Make sure I've got this going the right way. Of course, I could just look at this. And he took it and he matched it up. I'll hold this for a second. He matched it up, and basically he just glued the tab to the switch, so that once it's on there, it is, oops, there. Let me get the envelope. So once it's on there, that tab, I'm no longer going to have to fight because it's attached to the switch. And I can just roll this up on its back, drop the switch in there where it's supposed to be, get a screw on the screwdriver. Actually, let me switch tips because this one was playing havoc a little bit earlier. When I took it out, it didn't want to stay on very well. Put the screw in there, and there's no fighting whatsoever if that thing lines up. Oh, it's not lining up. Screw hole's not lined up, and I'm about to glue. I did actually hit one of them with a little bit of glue. Screw hole was not lining up, but now it should. I can actually see that it lined up. That's what I need. Where is it? There. I keep fighting with this thing to keep it standing up, and it keeps falling over, so let me get one of my hobby vices over here. There's that. I will gently set this in here. So now I'm not going to have to fight with this thing. That's not the right one. So I don't see, and if you guys see it, let me know in the chat where that wire is. That would suck. There it is. It was caught on the dash. Come on, get down in there. And for this, because it's a little bit higher than it was, I need to stand up. This miter might not be a great method as far as I'm concerned, because I'm having almost the same problem I had, as much problem as I had last week. Let me open this up and put it a little bit further down. Try it this way. The key is when you're using a vise, and I'm sure you guys know this, is not to break what you're trying to hold on to. I'm going the wrong way. When Wayne did this, it worked just so easily. I think the reason is he managed to hit it dead on to where that pin on the back of the retainer, there we go, dropped right in where it needed to be. It came loose from the, yeah, it's not on the pin. It came loose from the super glue, so I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna do it the way I did before. That should be in there. That is in there. Retainer is just a hair off. And same thing I had last time. If I crank it all the way down, I get no play on that switch. And that screwdriver. I had the same problem last week too with that screwdriver. No wonder I can't find it over there. It's still on the bench. Okay. Yeah, I agree. They don't work as well as they do on the internet, but they do work pretty well. So let me just double check. I've got on the other bench, I've got the book open, or I'm keeping the book open. I gotta open it back up to stage 38 so that I can make sure that I've got the right wires, because I don't want to have to fight with this thing later on when the rest of the car is put together. So it's 38E. The next one is 38C. Which is supposed to be blue and green. Oh yeah, I see what some people were saying. He had Wayne had the wrong switches, or the wires in the wrong order. I see what they're talking about, because this one is blue and green, and he has C, which is, he has on his C, which is just plain blue. I agree with you guys that usually what they do is the video you watch took hours for them to do. Though I'm sitting here looking at this, thinking that it's where I'm trying to put it. So this one should be B. The only person that I think that does their stuff right, or relatively right the first time, is Boyd. We all know he cooks with heat. So, D, no, not D, is it D? Blue and green, 38C. I know Rascal edits some a little bit. What he does is he doesn't edit it so much as he doesn't show it all. I have done that a couple of times, but usually what you see is what you get. I don't edit, I don't cut. On some of my videos, well, I can't say that either. I do cut on some of my videos. What I do is, make sure I got all three of these. What I do is I will set up OBS. Once I've got it up and running, I will just pause the recording while I'm making the video. But I haven't done that in a while either. So now, let me see if I can get this one to go in there. Come on. That's too loose still. And again, it's tighter than it feels like it should be able to, or, well, it looks like it should be able to catch that button, but it's not. Okay, I still need to tighten that down some. Take this out of the device. And if I don't catch the chat, guys, it's because I'm wearing cheaters right now. It's the only way I can see this. Back that just a hair off. It is way too loose for that thing not to be able to engage. One of my spare phones for Droid Cam has been beeping ever since I put it on the other side of the room. It's like multiple chats are going on at the same right now. I'll have to wait and see how that works out when it comes time to actually apply power. Before I glue my wires, because I saw that I caught one of them, but not enough to really do anything. Let me get this patch of glue out of here. Okay, so the third one is supposed to be 38D. 38D is the horn switch, and it is green, which is E. So that one, let me see how the wire comes out. Okay, every one of the wires comes out to the right. You see something. Much better. Last week when I did this button was just so far down inside there that you couldn't, there was going to be no way to push it. Where's my... Well, I forgot, for anybody who is not a member of HLI, and you really should be, Kenny has started this thing of referring people. You know, if you refer people, it's a contest. And I said, I'm in. So if you're not a member of HLI and you go over and join, and you get something from Kenny Conklin, the site lead over there, if he asks you who referred him, if somebody else before me referred you, obviously say them, but I would appreciate it if you would say that I did. Because in the end, at some point, there are some prizes for it, and it would be really cool to win a prize from HLI. So this next one is 38B, and it is blue instead of the white one. And see, I don't know if you guys remember last week when I did this white one, I was like, that doesn't look right, because they had the really long white one was the last one that they've had us put in. It doesn't work, Shu. I can't have referred you. You're already a member. Of course, you could cancel your membership and then rejoin. I kind of actually expected some of you guys to jump on that, because I know all of us are in the modeling community, and a lot of us are also doing the videos, which is a good way to get people referred over. That's how I found it. I watched one of Kenny's videos and he said, come on over and join the site, and I was like, okay. I'm glad I did. Sorry if I'm getting off screen, guys. It's in one of the, I think it's one of the new ones under the new topics under the general chat on HLI. Because damn it, where'd it go? The way I'm set up on HLI is that every time I go on there, I click on what's new, and it lists everything that I have not yet at least been on that page since somebody new has posted something new on there. Damn it, just knock that thing back out. And I know what Kenny's trying to do, because before HLI had to switch sites, and we had the old community, we had 700 members, and I think he's trying to get back up there. Rascal, I think you're going to refer yourself to some sort of mental health. I'm joking, man. Don't take it personally. Because all of us know over there that we're all a little bit off. I think it was you over the weekend that said the truism of normal is just a setting on the dryer. That's what it is. I need to wiggle these switches around once they're all in. Let me see, these were EP screws. Yes, indeed. And you know, Eric, I would love to switch to the Goofy Cam, but it's not set up. I figured after a week you had enough Goofy. But you have to admit, it was kind of fun. Oh, this one's different. This one goes... So this one here, guys, let me see. Let me take these off for a second so I can actually see what I'm showing you. This last switch, all the other ones were up and down. This one has the hole there for the switch, the hole for the pin, and the hole for the screw. This one is left, or this one the switch is left and right rather than up and down. Yeah, well, see, here's the thing about the whole thing with Goofy. My wife is setting up our whole house as Disney. We've talked about it before, and I'm not a nut for Mickey. And so at one point I decided that my favorite Disney character was going to be Goofy, because he fits more my mentality. It was fun about it too. But you notice this week is a new, my Good Morning on Discord was a new product from Disney nowadays. We're now doing Star Wars. So my good mornings are going to, if I can find one, are all going to be different Star Wars characters. As long as they say, mention the exact day of the week. Like Darth Vader said was all about Monday this morning. Have to see what I can find about Tuesday tomorrow. Just because it's just silly enough to keep me entertained. And what you guys don't realize, I don't think, is how many times I sit here and I laugh myself silly on my own jokes. Don't know who that was. Don't care. Was probably somebody trying to sell me a warranty for my car that is still under its original warranty for another 3 years. What isn't owned by Disney? CBS. Hey, that was the Ride of the Valkyries, man. And if it's tea time, you've misspelled it. It would be tea as in golf tea, man. There they are. All the switches are in and all the switches work. Yay! I'm a happy man. And now I've got wire spaghetti out the back of the thing. So I think, yep, that is, it says that is what the assembled piece should look like. By the way, when you subscribe to these things, you get a binder. Thanks, Eric. Still got one more to go. They give you a binder, and then originally with the X-Wing, or not the X-Wing, and not quite done with 38. I forgot to put the light back, or the spotlight handle back in. But originally with the Millennium Falcon, they gave you one binder, and there were any extras that you got cost $20. Nowadays, they cost $20 for two of them. And I'm not putting that where it's trying to be, because I am not going to have to fight past that. Oh, you got to be kidding me. That thing is actually set in there. The hole is designed for it to go right there. My headlight switch is right where I need, right underneath where they're trying to have me put this thing. Well, that solves that. Damn it. This will go in here. That's true, Mark. And I actually never got any more of the binders. I may just call them and ask them to send me a new handle there. I never got more of the binders than the first one, because the first one, after I did put them in there, I got cardboard magazine holders for the rest of them. I'm going to tighten that screw down because it is just too loose. I don't want to lose this wire. Better. Okay, so that's the end of that. I may not even put that handle back in there. Nobody will notice but you guys. Let me get this last pack of parts out. On the live stream yesterday, it was kind of funny because I couldn't find this knife. It was sitting literally just to my left in plain view. Neither did I, Mark. I bought the like I said, I bought the these cardboard magazine holders from Amazon. As far as I'm concerned, they work just as well. I take the first one upstairs in my stash. I've got the first binder next to the magazine rack so that you know what's in there. Eventually, when I put these things down in the display room, they will all, and the magazines will all end up near them. So let me go back here, just because that's a lot of little ugly parts. Little ugly parts, okay. I'm just checking to make sure that I've got everything I'm supposed to here. That is a very interesting, let me see what they're calling it, 42H. It's an interesting emergency brake pedal. So, okay. First part is fitting the antenna. You take 42A, 42B, and while I'm thinking about it, let me put my screws away. Creature of habit. I feel funny if I don't do these things in a certain order. So BP, EP. new screws again. LP and GP. So, Mark, is your R2D2 still working? Because it was kind of funny. I thought he was, I didn't think about it actually, but I assumed that he used lower voltage, and he was dead for the longest time because I had not used him in a year. His batteries were completely flat, and I plugged him in and nothing happened. And I came across, what was I tried 6 volts. I was like, okay. Didn't work. And this past weekend I went and found his thing, and it's 24 volts he needed. You still need to finish him. Dude, what's stopping you? Okay, you're going to say, videos on YouTube. What's stopping you, or have you gotten all the parts? I will tell you, putting that head together and putting everything inside that body is a pain in the behind. He is kind of cool the way he moves once he's done. When you first get him done, he's really kind of cool. I kind of, like I said, I kind of let his batteries lapse on him. So, BP screw to hold that piece in there. On. Just so you guys know, it's not Tuesday. It's Monday, but cheers. Same, it's a live stream thing for me. I will tell you too, Mark, if you're like the rest of the world, when you first put them together, something is not going to be right. I had to go back to D'Agostini and ask them, why he wasn't turning on. He'd only turn his head one way and then it'd thump and it would stop. And I went in, took a couple of things back out, and then put them back in, and it magically fixed itself. Alright, so this is supposed to be, this is some sort of an antenna for detecting ghosts. There's just a little ring for detail part that I put on the back there. Now there's a little hole right there. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little hole right there that a screw goes through this thing to hold it in place. And that's going to be one of the GP screws. And actually, I'm going to need 5 of them because I just looked over at the book. After I attach the antenna thing to the frame, that frame immediately gets attached to the dash that I was just working on. That would be good. That would be awesome. I love the R2 build. It was just, I think what it is when you get to a 2-year build on something like this, it can get draining. And back with the R2 was the last one of these that I had only one build going at a time. And since then, I've gone insane, and I have, when everything starts coming in, I think I have 5 of these going. Just remember, Eric, if you're making brats, if you're making burgers and brats, you need to make enough for everybody. Speaking of which, other than photobombing, man, what was that? You never even showed for your own live stream. Let's see if I can get this thing to hold. X-Wing is a good build too, Mark. And if you've watched my videos, it's well worth the money to get the parts, get the engines and the cockpit from Falcon 3D Parts. I love the way the engines light up, and if you watched this yesterday, that the cockpit between the stock cockpit and the one from 3D Parts, there's no comparison. That's not working. Family stuff? What is this family stuff? Actually, I know what you're saying, man. Just messing with you. God knows I don't need your wife coming over to beat my ass. Alright. Got that little sucker put in there. Like I said, screw on the bottom. Then this rounded part on the will go towards the front. And it goes on the dash right here. Let me see if I can, yeah, let me turn the plastic. You can see it right there where the 4 mounting holes are. And that is literally directly, I mean, just the right and directly above the radio. When did you finish your Falcon? Because I did start late on the Falcon. It had probably been out for a year and a half by the time I started. The only thing, there's the photo etch, a lot of the photo etch out there. I didn't do any of that. I just did the engine kit from Falcon 3D Parts. That, and I don't remember if it was from them that I got the landing lights. I did the engine, but I did the engine kit about 2 years ago. They haven't come. Stuff I got was more than 2 years ago. Like I said, it's the engine kit from Falcon 3D Parts. The light kit, I don't remember where I got it from, but it adds the red and white lights to the underneath the ship. And that was it. I don't do a whole lot of modding on these things because they're already expensive as hell. The DeLorean, they released a bunch of, they had carpet that you could get. And I was like, I like that idea, but I think I can do it myself with some really thin felt. And I was able to do it, but my felt was thicker than their felt, so I had some fit issues when I put the thing together. So there's that on there. Many little switches. Longer pins at the end of the switches into 8 holes. I find it use tweezers. Doesn't say anything about glue on these little bitty switches. All plug into here. Matter of fact, rather than holding it up all the time. Where's my mouse? So there's the switches. They all get cut off, and then they fit in here. I'm going to cut them off, and then I'm going to try one by one to see if they need glue. Wow. Hang on. Let me put my cheaters back on because there's actually text on there. I don't think this actually means anything because alt bar, fly bar, top end, bolts. Yeah, there's actual text, readable text on this little bar here. Let's see. Come on, focus. Yeah. You can it's actually readable. It's unreal to me. Huh? You can go back to it, Mark. It's Ecto is a, or not Ecto. R2 is a really fun build. And like I said, when you get to the part where you're putting stuff inside the body, inside the head, that can be a little bit trying. So it's going to turn out that I only need 5 of these, and I'm cutting all of them off. Actually, I think I need all of them right now. Cool. Well, if you start, when you start building, not if you start building, when you start working on R2, I mean, do them on our weekly stream, or, do videos of it. Come on. Where are the... No. These used to be my wife's. No! Shit. Damn it. I did it again. I will look for it later. Although I did this weekend, I dropped something down here and I found it and it was microscopic. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm going to at least try right now to figure out which one of these lights is brighter. That one. At least it's shiny silver. Problem is, these things usually go about 3 miles from where you drop them. It's not obvious, and I'm not. Wow. This, gentleman, is why they would call me out quite regularly to find parts that were, or screws that were dropped inside of a F-16 cockpit. Hey Spence, because I am really good at finding things that have dropped. Let me see if I can now get this to go in the hole. Only I am dumb enough to do these things on the live stream. Everybody else does a cut here and says, that was fiddly when they come back. Shit. That one's probably gone now. Because I didn't even see where it went. What would have been really cool is if they'd have put these on the sprue the opposite direction, because the pin that has to go into these little holes was on the sprue side that needed to be cut. And the switch was on the outside. I understand trying to not damage the chrome, but it would have been so nice to be able to just put these on while it was on the sprue. There's one. And these are going to need glue on the back side. If it comes down to it, if I have to, I'm sure I can use a piece of this sprue to scratch build something that looks half decent inside of the car. Or they had a novice Ghostbuster one day riding in the car, and he said, "What's this switch does?" And Eric flipped it and broke it right off. Why would you do this, Eric? No. If you ever vacuumed, it's gone. Well, and the thing is, for some reason, I have this uncanny ability to look at a space and go, if I dropped this specific thing shaped like this, it would go, and I reach where I think it would go, and it's right there. The best one I ever did was actually, stupid pilot dropped the cap off of his water bottle, and it was up under the seat. But it wasn't up under the seat towards the back. There's this thing under there that they call the curtain. It was up under the seat, under the curtain, so it basically fell. It had fallen down, back, and then went forward. And to reach up under the curtain to where it was at, you just about needed a second elbow on the same arm. Somehow I managed to pull that part out of there, or that cap out of there. I was never one of those people that believed that if somebody told me I couldn't, no vacuuming, it's hardwood. So what you're saying is the mice have been building themselves a really nice model over the years. Come on. But I've never believed in when people told me that I couldn't, there's no way you could do that. So if you don't believe that you can't do something, look. There's the one that went shooting off to all parts unknown. So I now have them all. But if you don't believe that it's impossible to do to do something, then usually you can do it because you believe in yourself. Here I go getting all sappy. Okay, I'm not going to fight with these anymore. I am going to find a drill bit. Is that? No, of course, the one that I need is broken. Have I told you guys how much I love these drills? Or these bits? Because look, sitting next to me I had this one and that big box. And by just doing a hair of reaming out, move the couch if the parts are under the couch. Actually, the parts are probably not under the couch. They probably were under the couch and they bounced that when they got under there, and now they're in the couch. They become one with the couch. So now with it, that time he's gone. I heard it go up this way. See if I can get one without making it shoot off. No! Let me stop using this smaller one and use the bigger one that was working earlier. That one's backwards. And yes, guys, if you're curious, I will look for those other ones once I get off the live stream. But if I don't, losing 2 is actually better than losing 1, because losing 2 means I can have a switch gone from either side. And unless somebody who's about 1/8 scale gets into the car, you really won't notice. Oh, and by the way, guys, I don't know why, but I'm doing this without my cheaters. Cheaters would probably make this a lot easier to do. Almost. My cat's not waving, that's what the problem is. Okay, before I lose any more of these things, because I drilled out those holes just a hair, let me put a drop of glue on the back of each one. This time put the glue where I'm more likely to stick my arm in it. It's off camera. Yes, it's possible to do models without cheaters. Oh, damn it. That one just fell out. I actually do it all the time, Donnie. So let me see if I can get this one from right in the middle back in. I find it's easier if I can see without the cheaters because I have to put the cheaters over top of my glasses. And they're designed to do that, but they really hurt the bridge of my nose. Hey John, how's it going? Welcome to my Monday night impromptu stream to finish this thing up from last week. One of these things popped back up. One of them that was supposed to have glue on it. Of course, the one next to it is now spun off a little bit. So let me see if I can keep from losing any more of these and actually get some glue on them. And my finger. Mine have a headband too, but what I do is the way I put them on is I put the there's a bridge, a nose piece that's supposed to go on the bridge of the nose. I put that on the bridge of my nose while I'm using them, and use the headband at the same time. Now what would be really cool is if Tiny Batman was holding that piece that pinged off earlier. I know it went that way on the desk. So let me take another quick look for the other one. Wow, don't even need the light. Silver parts are really cool. And don't get me wrong, I use those cheaters sometimes. It's just that I prefer to use my eyes as much as my normal vision as much as I can with my glasses. Because I actually have two sets of glasses. I'm farsighted, unlike 90% of the world I think is nearsighted. Not near as many people that are farsighted as nearsighted. And because of that, I have glasses for, like my monitor's about 1.5 feet away from me. My monitor, if I was just watching something or doing something on the internet, is almost far enough away from me to use my just regular glasses. And I have readers that are for closer. So I'm not going to search for that other piece anymore. I'm just kind of looking around to see if it jumps out at me. It's probably right here, right behind Tiny. Okay, I was about to say it is right behind, probably right behind Tiny Batman. And I'm going to put the piece. Let me see. I don't know if you can see it. You can't. But I'm gonna zoom in to see if you guys can see it. won't start. What are you doing wrong, Kenny? First, you can't join our Sundays. So, if you look right here, this is the piece. And as I was saying, it's probably right behind Tiny Batman. I picked him up. I mean, it was literally where it was, behind Tiny Batman. I picked him up and it was right there. That's hilarious. At least to me. Oops, trying to zoom the wrong way. I probably should, but I appear to be doing pretty well without the cheaters. Holy cow. This is going to end up being a 2-hour video, and it's just to finish 2 stages. Actually correct one and finish the other. Oh, that one went in there like it was made to go in there. Glue looks like it's dried out. By the way, for little parts like this, I highly recommend this cheap-ass glue. And this stuff I got off of eBay. Where's the package? I don't know where the package is. It's somewhere around here. I got this stuff off of eBay, and it was like $10 or $15 for 100 of these things. Well worth it. Not the best glue, but it works pretty well when setting parts in. And of course this part is not drawing right, and so it's saying, yeah, whatever. I know. So, I have all the switches. That's amazing to me. I lost one twice, another one. So basically I lost 4 out of the 8 switches. But I was able to recover them. So let me put my drill bit away. That thing goes... Oh, that thing goes on the bottom here. Let me see. There are actually screw holes in this thing. Okay, so it goes on there like that. So it sits on there like that, and then there's 2 screw holes behind the ends. Ah! Lose the whole part this time. And those are BPs. And Kenny, if nothing else, if you can't get the video to start, just remember it should be up live on my YouTube channel by tomorrow. And it should, it should be available. I know it's going to be already there on the live side. Different screwdriver. Come on. actually expected this to be a little bit shorter video because I didn't expect it to take that long to fix these wires. And then these little pieces here, quote unquote switches. That's funny. So when I tighten the screws down, it actually gave that part a little bit of a curve. But there's the switches. And then not sure what gauge this is. Battery indicator. Okay. So that's the next part that goes on there, right next to the switches. This is true. Nobody heard me earlier. Because somebody had a scene built on OBS with no microphone. It's like a rookie move. Oh, that's not good. Maybe you need a new one like I got. Actually, I think that one was new the last time you streamed regularly. Maybe that's it. It's angry that you haven't been using it to stream. Come on. There we go. And these screwdrivers, or the screwdriver I'm using right now, I believe was actually part of the screwdrivers that came with the DeLorean. Because I don't think, the Ecto 1 didn't come with any. So there's that. The battery gauge on there. This is 42. Oh, finally fit the emergency brake. No, not for. That's not the battery. Oh, this one is the fuel gauge. This one is the battery indicator. Battery indicator goes behind that bank of switches and also needs an EP screw. Last part to go in will be the emergency brake, and then the top and the bottom of the dash will be actually assembled together. Oh, you had the same. Yeah. It's kind of important to have the microphone set up on your scenes in OBS. For some reason, the microphone doesn't work if you don't do that. All right, both gauges there. Brake pedal's been there for a long time. And it swings because there's a switch to it. The e-brake. The e-brake just gets a screw to hold it in place. And that is also an EP. One thing about magnetic screws is when they slip off, they don't go very far. It slipped off and went to the side of the bit, so that I'm sitting there looking for it and it's right in front of me, but on the back side of the thing. I was wondering if you did a live stream on Saturday. I didn't remember you doing one. Alright, so that's the e-brake. Regular brake is right here, and it still engages the switch there to make the brake lights work. So this has 3 LP screws to hold the dash parts together. This actually fits together really well. I've tried it before. Let go, Batman. I know you saved the day earlier by holding on to that part. Tiny Batman was trying to take over. It fits in there like this. Just zoom that out just here. And then on the back side, not sure if I see them. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3. There's one here. There's one here. And there's one here for the posts or legs of plastic with a screw hole in the on the front side and a screw hole behind it to capture the screw to hold the dash together. Kind of like my stealth live stream earlier tonight. Those switches are good. I just pushed on one and heard it click. It's just getting this screw in is being interesting. Maybe that'll help get all the wires out of the way. So I just had a thought. You know, the wires getting in the way, kind of like a cat. And cat made me think of Maximus and Kenny's cat. So I'm like, I gotta ask, how's Maximus doing these days, Kenny? Haven't heard much from him lately. Good old Maximus Catechus. Okay, there's the dash. working glove box, some sort of radio, the antenna, that switch works, that switch works, that one works, that one works, that one works. All the switches work, brake pedal still works, and a little bit of spaghetti coming out of here. This last one, G, is the brake pedal wire. So, managed to finish finally last Tuesday's stream, which means tomorrow will be the Ecto, or not the Ecto, the Pearl. I've got it sitting right in front of me. So let me flip over. Actually, let me double check the book first. Okay. Okay, switch over to the generic webcam that also has, I wonder if it's that light that's causing all the problems. The generic webcam that has the stream, the scan lines in it. Appreciate you guys stopping by, and I apologize for the impromptu manner of this stream. It was one of these things of I wanted to get this finished, wanted to get the dash finished before my next live stream tomorrow, and I kept putting it off, and so I finally got to it. Still have, I don't know if it's even in the screen. Is it? It is. If you look back behind me there, let's see. Oh, here. There's the TIE Fighter. It is completely done. It is ready for a, it's only getting a single video, but it's the, from the Secret Santa group build from last year. And it's also part of the Star Wars group build for this year. So, one model, 2 contests down. Glad you guys stopped by. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun losing and finding parts on camera. And you can't make that stuff up. That, you know, when you have those parts ping away like that, it's heartbreaking. When you find them, it is triumphant. So, appreciate you stopping by. Like, subscribe, whole 9 yards. Come over to HLI. If you're not a member already, sign up. Mention me to Kenny, you know, when because of his contest he's got going on. At least I saw it. He started. I don't know if he's still going to keep it going because I haven't seen a whole lot of people sign up, but you know, still, come on over to HLI, join us. It's a great group of guys. We all do mods. We help each other out lots of the time. I mean, there are things that I don't know that others know. There are things that I know that others don't know. We help each other out all the time. Appreciate you stopping by. Have a great evening, and I will stream again tomorrow. Look forward to seeing you there for the Pearl. Have a great one.